So today we are going with that descending pyramid. So 10 reps down to 1 rep. And so we're only working in pairs. So you'll go back and forth for 4 minutes. You'll do 10 of the first exercise, 10 of the second, and then 9 and 9, 8 and 8, 7, 7, working your way all the way down to however far you can get in 4 minutes. Or if you do get all the way down to 1, then you've got that time to rest. I don't think there will be if we finish 1 or 2 of these, I'd be surprised. All right, first pair, kettlebell clean and a toe tap. So kettlebell clean is mostly like a deadlift or a swing. Oh no, my lightweight's upstairs. So the kettlebell is going to tap, or the dumbbell, if you're using a dumbbell, hold it vertically so the handle is up and down. You'll hold one end, tap to the floor, and then we're just picking it up and swinging right up into this goblet squat. So it's like you're picking it up from the floor to come up to a goblet squat. Okay, so with that, your hips are going to hinge rather than really squatting down. So it's more of a hip hinge than it is a squat. So we just tap to the floor, pop it up, tap to the floor, pop it up for 10. And then the toe tap on that last one, you'll leave it on the ground. And we're either marching the tap, your toe on top of the kettlebell handle, or running your pace there. Okay, so that's the first pair. Second pair, mountain climber and floor press. So mountain climber, you're in that push-up position. You're either marching or running your knee up underneath you. Just switching. Your body should stay relatively stable for that. And that is 10 each side. So it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and so on. Okay, floor press, you're just going to roll over, laying with your back on the floor, knees bent, at least one knee bent, and pressing the weight up towards the ceiling. You can use a kettlebell or a dumbbell for that. Next pair, alternating lateral squat. So feet will be out wide, and you're holding your weight, and you're just going to go one side, then the other, then one side, then the other. Okay, so just alternating those. And you're going to pair that with a wide stance row. So if you have a dumbbell, you'll keep your feet wide, and we'll just hinge over here, and then we row like that for however many each side. If the weight doesn't work, you can also step on a band. So you can have the band stretched under your feet, grab that band, and pull it up. Okay. Last pair, jumping jacks and tripod transition. So the tripod transition is when you're on the floor, reaching forward and then reaching backwards. So it's, opposite hand and leg on the floor, and then that leg is passing underneath you. We're going to count those. Forward and back is 2. So you're going to count every time you tap your foot. 1, 2, 3, 4. Otherwise, it's going to take an hour and a half to get them done. So, okay, so let's jump on the roller. Let's take 1 more minute to roll. I'm going to mute everybody, so in case you start shouting at me. Good group this morning. Carol, good to see you. All right. 30 more seconds to roll out. Okay. So let's start off on the floor, moving that roller off to the side. We're going to give one knee a hug and let that other leg drop down towards the ground. So we're trying to touch the back of your knee to the ground. And from there, we're just going to move it up and down just a little bit. So trying to really drive that heel away from you. So we're just kind of waving up and down like this. And then you're going to let it relax again and see if you can get it farther to the floor. So we stretch the muscle, use the muscle a little bit, and then stretch the muscle again. Always making sure we're trying to keep your low back on the ground here. Now let's bring that other leg in. So pull your knee in far enough so that your low back touches the ground. Then you're going to try to touch the back of your knee to the floor. Give it about a 5-second stretch here. And let's move up and down just a little bit with that leg. Just about 6 inches up and down. Initiating that movement from your hip flexor. And relax again. Trying to see if you can sink a little bit farther into that stretch. And good. Let's go back to the original leg. Push your heel into the floor. We're going to lift up and hold. So we're just going for a 20-second hold here. Make sure your belly is strong. Should feel this in your butt cheek and down the back of your leg. More in your butt though. And let's switch sides. Making sure your foot stays flat on the floor. Ten seconds left. And good, last stretch on your back here. We're gonna move a little bit, reaching with opposites. So this is a dead bug, so we're gonna keep opposites moving. The other set will stay right where it is. So don't let your arm follow your legs here. Reach out with opposite arm and leg. Keeping your belly strong, keeping your low back close to the floor. So you should feel, your spine should feel the same all the way through this movement. And relax. Let's come up to a knee. So we're tucking your tailbone down, pushing forward just a little bit, but we want to try to keep that arch out of your low back. And then let's take hands to the floor. Pushing those hips down toward the floor. Last part of this, straighten your front leg. So you're getting a big stretch down the back of your leg. Or yeah, down the back of your front leg through your hamstring. And relax. Switch knees. Let's go through those 3 movements again. Those 3 stretches. Getting tall here, tucking your tailbone under. Should feel a big stretch down the front of your leg or up in your hip. Leaving that knee on the floor, you're going to just put your hands down to the floor. Really try to push your hips down and push your chest up. And last part, go ahead and straighten that front leg. Letting your back heel drop down for a calf stretch. And bring it up to standing. Okay, next one, we're gonna pull up and across on this shin. So we pull up and across, then you're gonna take that leg back for an SLDL. Bring it up. and hinge it back. We go for about 20 seconds here. Five more seconds. And let's switch sides. Pulling that knee up and across, should feel a stretch in the outside of your cheek, back by your back pocket. You can go at your speed here. The goal would be to not have to tap your foot to the ground at all during the 20 seconds. Let's go 5 more seconds. And good, we'll go feet wide. So this is the same lateral squat we're gonna do in the circuit, but we'll warm it up here without weight. Moving side to side, working deeper and deeper as you go. And last bit, we're gonna do 4. With this wide stance, we're gonna do 4 stationary inchworms. So we reach out or walk out into that push-up position, walk your hands back in. Last one. And good. Okay. So just a reminder, the first pair is that kettlebell clean plus the toe tap. With the clean, you're just using your hips, popping that weight right up to the top. If you're not comfortable catching, if you're using a dumbbell, you have to flip your hands around. If you're not comfortable catching, just turn it into like a pull where you're pulling up under your chin, okay? All right, so let's get ready to go. We've got 4 minutes. You're working between, you're gonna do 10 of each, then 9 of each, then 8, 7. We'll see how far we get in the 4 minutes. All right, so everybody's got their weight ready. Getting started in 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and off we go. If that weight's not going all the way down to the floor, that's okay too, right? So if your form is only good to your knees, then take your hands just to your knees. You don't have to tap to the floor. Remember, the toe tap can be at your pace. It can be a march. It can be a run. Just making sure you're tapping the handle of that kettlebell or your dumbbell, whatever you're using. halfway there, 2 minutes to go. Thinking most of the speed on the kettlebell or on your weight is coming from your legs. Right, so you shouldn't be doing much of a curl at the top. That weight should sort of be floating up. "45 seconds left." "10 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right, we've got 1 minute to rest. Next pair, mountain climber and floor press. So we're just gonna be rolling around on the floor here. Remember, the mountain climber can be anywhere between running your knees up under you, so only having one back there at a time, and the slower version, which would be marching, where you're always meeting, your feet are always meeting at the back. On the floor press, I'd recommend doing it just like a Turkish get up, where you're lying on your back, whatever side the weight is on, that knee will be bent, the other leg will be straight. Just gives you a better, some better leverage to push with. Okay, getting started in 5 seconds. Starting off with 10 mountain climbers, and here we go. And remember, that is 10 each side. About 2.5 minutes, just under 2.5 minutes left here. So on that floor press, you're gonna bend the knee on the side that the weight is on. The other leg's gonna go out straight. Minute 45 to go. "45 seconds to go." "20 seconds." "5 seconds. And rest. All right. Good job, guys. We're halfway through. We got 2 more groups to go. Next pair, alternating lateral squat with the wide stance row. So we're pretty much going to spend the 4 minutes in that wide stance. 2 different ways you can hold the weight for the lateral squat. You can either hold it up under your chin, or you can hold it on the side that's staying straight. So you'll be here. Amy, you can substitute a reverse lunge here. We aren't doing any reverse lunges or anything, so. And then the wide stance row can just be a standard 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Okay, get going with the alternating lateral squat in 2, 1, and here we go. So feet are staying wide. I guess since we're alternating, you can keep 2 hands on the weight if it's low. Then for the row, you're going to hinge those hips back, let your chest face the floor. You bring your feet in, take a break if needed. Two and a half minutes left. Remember, on the lateral squat, we're trying to keep our chest up. And then on the row, you're trying to keep your chest facing down. On the row, don't fall into the trap of pulling your hand into you or curling your wrist into you. Always think about the back of your elbow moving up towards the ceiling. So we're not curling that weight in. You're using your shoulder blade to take your elbow back up to the ceiling. Last minute here. Feet should be staying flat on the lateral lunges or lateral squats. Twenty seconds left. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, last pair here. Jumping jacks and tripod transition. So just remember the tripod transition is going to be opposite hand and foot on the floor. So if my left foot is flat, my right hand is flat, and we reach forward, tap your heel in front, reach back, point your belly button down at the floor, and tap your toe in the back. So that's the only one today that we're, every time you tap, we're counting it as 1. So forward is 1, backwards is 2, forward is 3, backward is 4. And we do those each side. All right, in 3 seconds, 2, 1, last 4 minutes of work, here we go. All right, we're 1 minute in, 3 minutes to go. Two minutes, halfway there. Last minute. Keep working through. "30 seconds. Making sure to keep reaching far on each of these tripod transitions. Let your belly button face the ceiling. Let your belly button face the floor. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. All right, so either coming up to standing or staying seated. We'll take this full minute here just to catch our breath. Carol, I know you are usually out of here. Good to see you. Steve, great job. Nice to see you back this morning. Glad you got up with us. Ted, you're not in your usual location today. And you're masked. Elaine, thanks for coming. Amy, sorry I couldn't come up with some substitutions for you, but I'm sure you got some stuff mixed in there. All right, gang. That's all we got for today. On with your day. Enjoy your Monday.
Fort Worth is.
What's that? What'd you say, Ted?
In Fort Worth, Texas.
Fort Worth, Texas. All right. You can do this stuff from anywhere. Okay. Have an excellent start to your week, guys. You're off to a great start. See ya.
Thanks, Brian.
Bye, Lane.